Hey everyone, Porv here, and I just wanted to record this quick video to explain, what I'm learning this year and my plan for going after it, and also why I'm learning these things. I think that's useful for you guys. So what I'm learning, ideally this year, that's gonna drive me crazy. Ideally this year is how to profitably scale product revenue to 100 million. I've done tens of millions, and there's very few people in the world that have actually gotten to 100 million. So that's something that I think would be fun. And so that's a goal of mine for this year. Two is how to build a fund that's founder first. There's a lot of venture capital out there that, based on the returns that people expect, a lot of the times they push founders so hard that they burn out. And I think founders are really important for innovation for humanity. And so if we're burning them out for the sake of financial returns, that doesn't really, optimize for mankind or ecology or just like a sustainable future. So I want to build a fund that's, really focused on those founders. And I want to learn how to do that. Next is how to hire an ops manager to end-to-end run a product division. And that's a $10 million product division. So after you build a company, can you hand it off to someone else to have them run it so you can focus on innovation? So a founder can focus on innovation. That's something I want to learn this year. I think that's important because, again, innovation is what's really important. If an ops manager can come in and make sure financially the company will be successful and scaling consistently year on year, then now that's a machine that can just be replicated again and again, versus you kind of get these big one-off products in these really big companies that will generate massive amounts of profit. And then the companies will kind of run around trying to find that next big thing to generate that profit. I really want to systematize that in such a way that it's not guaranteed, but it's as close to guaranteed as possible. Next is how to allocate capital so that way it quantifiably solves world scale problems. A lot of times when people start startups, when I start startups, I have this big issue that I want to address. And a lot of time, because the day-to-day and being in the trenches, you forget about how much impact you are actually making, and being able to be grateful for the amount of impact you're making, especially when times get rough. You forget that. So I want to make sure that I have a systematized approach to allocate capital so that it's quantifiably solving these things. Because that's, why I start companies, I help companies, I help founders. That's really the why behind it. So that's why I want to learn that this year. Next is how to pick an environment that solves problems before they arise. A lot of times you can't really avoid a problem. And it's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's just you've been set up in such a way, or you've set up a system in such a way that it's going to break at some point. And so a lot of the issues that are coming up are from you or someone else making not a poor decision, maybe a rush decision. Maybe you didn't have the time, and so you had to allocate for a certain amount of organizational debt, tech debt, product debt, whatever kind of debt, financial debt even, to be able to hit the goal that you wanted, and now that's catching up to you. And so being able to pick an environment that sustainably grows is exciting for me to learn. And then next is how to be in an enlightened state. And this isn't woo-woo, one with everything enlightened. This is literally your parasympathetic and your sympathetic nervous system being aligned, so you don't feel off at times. You're able to withstand massive amounts of stress because it doesn't feel like stress, and you're excited for stress. It gets you going. It's your drive. That's what I would consider an enlightened state. It's actually quantifiable. But to maintain that state while solving problems and crises, I can get to that state quantifiably through this ring. But whenever a problem arises, it's so much fun to solve a problem that I will sacrifice state for results. And especially when there's a crisis, I myself am more a wartime general than a peacetime general. And so when a crisis arises, I get excited and I'll make mistakes that I wouldn't usually make because it's so fun to jump in and get things done. And so I want to make sure that I can remain in that enlightened state. And this kind of goes back to the environment thing. If you can remain in that enlightened state, you pick better environments when you're solving problems or addressing crises. And that's, really something I want to learn this year. So my plan for learning this, how to profitably scale product revenue to 100 million. I've brought in an advisor that scaled marketing and digital to $1 trillion. Like he literally has built up companies' product lines, at least one that I know of, to $1 trillion of revenue realized. And so digging into the nuance of how he did that and what the asymmetries are for him to get there is going to be able to help me get to 100 million a lot faster, but also help our founders in our program to get to 100 million, et cetera, et cetera. There's waterfall effects. So I'm pretty excited about that. I doubt I can get that done in a year, but I think it'd be fun to see how much diffusion can happen when I'm around this individual. 2 is how to build a fund that's founder first. I'm working really closely with the founders in our program to beta our fund. And so I'm not doing it like a traditional fund where you raise money or you syndicate deals. This is like really specific, like what do you need as a founder to be able to happily accept money? Because the people in our program are a little bit different than most founders. They're already profitable. That's something we want them to be when they come into the program. So they don't actually need money to scale. They are already generating money to be able to scale. And so now they don't have to say yes to anyone that wants to give them money. They can really pick and choose who to give them money. And since we're already engaging with them, it's very difficult for them to not just pay us to help them, right? Like we need to have a massive, massive value proposition to be able to help them at a completely different level where we're getting returns from equity in the company, not just from showing them how to scale to 1 million or 10 million or what have you. And so that's something that we're doing like really closely. It's really been interesting and exciting to see what people actually need for their lives, for their companies to grow. Like it's more about peace of mind. It's more about curiosity and innovation and discovery than it is about like how many customers can I get, So that's been interesting so far. The next one is how to hire an ops manager to end-to-end run a $10 million product division. So I'm one of the first people I ran a mastermind with, I don't know what you want to call it, both, I guess, was Juliana over at Scale Time Co. And so she has operationalized a lot of different companies to about $10 million, a little further as well, I believe. And so I'm just, we're friends, so we talk now and then. And so she's kept me on the path to operationalizing my business and not doing everything myself. So that's my plan. I'm just gonna keep going with that one. Next is how to allocate capital so it quantifiably solves real scale problems. This is actually what motivated me to kind of have this. I don't know if you can hear this, hopefully you can. And then I'll explain it after. We'll give it a second to load. So this is a video of Bill Gates talking to Warren Buffett, okay? And they're discussing specific quantified issues in the world. How many people get a certain type of disease? How many kilowatts of energy does a certain country need to be able to be sustainable? And they're allocating capital specifically for these problems. And then Warren Buffett is holding him accountable to solve these problems. And so if you haven't seen that documentary, it's a really great one. It's the Bill Gates one on Netflix. I'm right now working on surrounding myself with people that will hold me accountable to solving certain problems that we see in the world. And so I haven't gotten that far with that, but that's my plan for there. How to pick an environment that solves problems before they arise. This is a really tough one. I haven't found someone that's gonna help me with this at a massive scale. I know people that have gotten to, tens of millions of dollars of revenue or billions of dollars assets under management that have some forms of this, but yeah, I just don't have a plan for this yet. And then how to be in an enlightened state while solving problems and crises. Definitely do not have a plan for this. This might not be something that you plan for. I think this might be something that's more intuitive. I can surround myself with people that'll grow that intuition. That's probably my best, my closest approach to a plan for that one. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at there. So let me just tell you guys progress on this so far. So for how to scale product sales to 100 million, that's profitably scaling product revenue, right? I've crossed about 35 million. I think it's a lot higher actually, but the numbers that have been reported back to me are there. So I'll stick with that as the floor. And so 100 million, like, it doesn't seem so crazy to me to do. And so that number is probably going to bump up relatively soon. And that's also why I think this could get done within this year. How progress is going on building a fund that's funded first. Like I said, we're running a beta, but we started syndicating some deals. We have a portfolio of equity. So we're working towards that. We're not fully there. But, you know, we are investing. So that's cool to have as a start. Hiring an ops manager. So, you know, I used to have VAs. Now I'm going to the ops manager. And eventually we're going to have a chief of staff. I'm in between the VA and ops manager. I guess I want to call it level, but you know, that's my progress there. How to allocate capital so that it quantifiably solves world scale problems. We've been quantifying missions for startups and saying like, hey, what do you actually want to solve in the world? What are the numbers behind that? Are you getting closer year on year? And helping them give meaning. And so we're like reviewing progress for that yearly. And a lot of times, like, we find out like founders actually want to change what their missions are. Because the closer you get to your mission, the more you realize how achievable it is, and the more you want to do like a bigger mission or have more impact. Kind of like, I'm not, you know, hitting 35, so 100 is small. So what do I really want to get to? Yeah, so that's been cool. How to pick an environment that solves problems before they arise. I've just been iterating with the team and what have you. And then how to be in an enlightened state. The closest I've got to understanding this is something called HILA, which is like an acronym for high intention, low attachment. But basically you want to approach things with, like, you want to get the result, but you don't care if you get the result. And you really look at things as like a game. So you do it because it'd be fun. You do it because it'd be a challenge. You do it because there's something intrinsic in games that brings you to a place of play where you actually operate at a much higher level. But when you lose or you don't hit something, like, you don't worry about it. And I've got to be honest, this one has been really tough for me because there's so many founders that are so close to hitting goals, and then like, I'm really excited for them, and then they'll shy away, or maybe they won't hit it for whatever reason. You know, circumstance happens, life happens. And that gets me a little bit, I gotta admit. But it shouldn't, but you know, it is what it is. So anyways, that's where I am. So that's what I'm learning, that's my plan, and that is my progress on it so far. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Feel free to, you know, ping me in the comments with any questions, comments, concerns that you guys have. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to get more content like this, or if you just want to, you know, get a feel for what we're up to. Have a great week, and hope you guys doing well. Cheers.